woke up in the morning. He thought, today I'm going to do something big. The turntable spun. Thomas puffed out to go get his freight cars. Thomas puffed back towards the yard and biffed the freight car's heart. I don't want any trouble from you today, he said in a stern voice, and all the trucks nodded yes. Soon he had a train full of goods, and Thomas set off. He was supposed to go to the quarry with this train. Thomas didn't know that the trucks were going to be very silly. All the trucks had a plan, but there was one truck in particular that was new. It was a milk tanker. They don't know why they had it. Thomas didn't know. Thomas didn't mind about it, though. He came to a junction, and he was supposed to go he was going the right way so far. He was supposed to go to his left on that line, except he went straight. Thomas was wondering this, and then the truck surged him on, they cried. Help! Wailed Thomas, but none of the engines heard because they were too busy in doing things. Then he discovered something. It was an old, abandoned loading dock. Thomas rushed in. He didn't know what he was doing, but as he came up on the top, he realized the track went, but his wheels jumped it. And then they went boom. And then a few of his cars collapsed off. The milk tanker was being dragged. Then the coupling snapped and the milk tanker fell down. Thomas fell down and hit an old junction and derailed. Then he found an old engine. Hey, what's your name? My name's Molly. What's yours? My name's Thomas. How long have you been sitting here? For over five, I don't remember, maybe 5, 10, 15 years, I don't remember. Oh, said Thomas, I better hope help comes soon. Douglas sent out with the breakdown train a few hours later. Douglas realized something, that the mysterious truck had left a trail. I've always wondered about that truck, said Douglas to his driver. It always seemed a little bit weird. However, Sir Topham Hatt was on board the train, so they could inspect anything that they needed or could repair to get a better thing. Then they realized something. This is weird. I've never seen this route before, and they hadn't. Many of them suspected that it was probably from the mysterious freight car. They were always wondering about the mysterious freight car, and they were always going to, too. Then they saw the milk, the drippings, or whatever. The breakdown train ducked under, and they had to do it. They quickly went over. Uh-oh, that isn't good. Oh, stupid train is going down. Okay. Then Douglas got to the train, got to where Thomas was. Hey, Douglas, said Thomas. Have you seen that mysterious milk tanker car? I've seen him in the yard, he said. He crashed over there on the dock. All of them looked, but he was nowhere in sight. Where could he have gone? Everyone asked. I don't know, they asked. but we'll have to figure out. Just then, Sir Topham Hatt stepped out of Douglas's cab. Thomas, why did you cause this accident? I didn't mean to, sir, said Thomas. I'm sorry. Well, what was the problem? The switch wasn't pointed right and the truck started bumping me. Well, then I'm sorry, Thomas. I didn't mean to do that. Well, we'll have to start the breakdown crane. We'll have to use the breakdown crane to get you up. A few hours later, they had finished the job, but they didn't know that during the job, someone in particular had been watching. All this time, he had seen the whole thing. They're so stupid, said the milk tanker. None of them had known this. Thomas quickly puffed back with the old engine named Molly and a boxcar and a caboose. The freight cars were still over there. Douglas was going to have to go get them pretty soon because his goods train was going to be reused with some of the cars. Thomas puffed in and stopped. So Topham Hatt quickly spoke. Thomas, thank you for helping us. We've been looking for that mysterious place for a long, long time. And Molly? Yes, sir. We will be using you and we will repair you as fast as we can because we need a new engine. Oh, thank you, sir, said Molly. That would help me a lot. And it would. Thomas quickly after that shunted Molly into a work shed where they would work on her until she was good as new. You'll be repaired in here, Molly, said Thomas, until you're better. I'll see you when you're better, and I'll come and visit you a few times. And plus, it's right by the shed here, so I can always say goodnight to you and stuff. Oh, thank you, Thomas, said Molly. Thank you for saving me. I've always wanted to be saved. You're welcome, said Thomas, and Thomas puffed away. Molly was feeling better after a few months of repairing. Thomas was back to working on his branch line. James, Henry, and Gordon were back to pulling the express. And Molly got a job as pulling old Slow Coach because Emily was sulking in the shed.